I'm Jamie Catania from Shovel the Sidewalk. We're a marketing firm in Buffalo, New York, creating brands and creating advertising for small businesses. And we utilize the power of storytelling. That's why we came out with Sidewalk Talk. We wanted this opportunity for people to share their stories, to motivate, inspire, and share information, especially during this crazy time that we're going through right now. And I'm really fortunate right now to have Joe Gill on the show right now. Joe, thank you very much for taking the time to be on Sidewalk Talk.
Thanks for having me, Jamie. Appreciate it.
First off, I just want to ask, how are you doing with everything? How are you? How are your family dealing with everything?
It's crazy, you know. We just got a call that a family member just got taken to the hospital, so hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, I just found that out today. So my stepsister. So we hopefully praying on that. Hopefully everything's okay there. But yeah, now it's getting really close to home now, so it's getting kind of a little crazier. But I try to, beside immediate people I know, I try to stay away from, because the news is just so negative, really. Right now, I know it's a negative thing, but let's try to spin some of the good stuff. So, like, even in my Facebook feed, I just share all good stories, man.
Yeah.
Like, I call it humanity for the win. Just sharing good stuff, because there's too much bad stuff, and I found myself last week getting anxiety about everything going on, because I was, like, immersed in the negativity, if you will. Not that it's not like real life stuff going on, but it's not good for you mentally just to immerse yourself in that. So I tried to distance myself, and I felt way better the last week. But like I said, it's still happening. So things may, touch you or whatever, so.
And I hear you on that. There's that fine balance with being aware of what's going on and then just kind of shutting yourself out and focusing on what's important right now.
Right. Absolutely.
I want to jump right into this, though. And, from what I've learned about you, we connected on LinkedIn during that time. I think you were working on a podcast.
Yep. Collective. Yep.
Yep. And, I've been following you since. I know you've been on a journey to find that new opportunity.
Yes.
And, for those that don't know, you created an article back in 2016 on LinkedIn where you were not only laid off once, twice, 3 times, but 4 times, and then you had let me know off air that it was actually 5 times since. I'm hoping you can share, how you embraced that adversity, how you overcame those objections, and then where it led you right now, what you learned through that experience.
Oh, God, man. That's a good question. I've learned a lot. So, at 30 years old, I got laid off for the very first time, and it was kind of a merger with a big company. And that's when you first, start beating the heck out of yourself. What did I do wrong? What's going on? You thought everything was I was at a good company. I was there for 3.5 years. And then everything started falling apart. And then you get into bad habits. I was out spending money on my credit card, getting that up, out drinking, not crazy, but enough, really kind of beat myself up. And I found out that was not the way to do it.
Sure.
So when it happened to me again, I learned from that first experience that what I try to do is recreate myself, learn new skills. At that point in 07, 08, after this is my second layoff, I, started learning digital marketing, social media marketing, because in 07, 08, 09 is really when it started ramping up from a business perspective.
Yep.
And really embrace that. And then I was asked to write for a sports blog, which I did. So when I was between jobs, I was creating content and setting up social media channels, seeing what resonated with people, what didn't resonate. I ended up forming my own networking event here in Boston Sports Blogapalooza. I know we weren't probably nice in some of the Buffalo teams, but we call it so. But that, my influencer marketing kind of experience started there as well, because these were influencers in the Boston sports media space, whether it was traditional media or, Jimmy in the basement with his, I'm sorry, I know you're James, but I didn't mean Jimmy. Well, let's say Timmy in the basement talking about the Pats or the Bruins or what have you, the Red Sox. So I did that for 7, 8 years. I built a brand, and I was able to build that brand because between jobs, I took that opportunity to build that. So
okay,
I did that. And then, a couple other times, one was a startup. Things happen. Startups are very volatile. We know that anyway, right?
Sure.
But what was great about that is that my boss there had such admiration for me, and he knew I did such a good job that when he went over to another company a couple of years later, he took me over there with him to kind of do some contract work for him when I was during another layoff. So Jay, one of the things about this journey is like I may have had many stops, but I've had many experiences and I've met many people.
Hmm.
Um, because someone who may have been at a job for 10, 15 years may not have that reach of a network as I have now because of all the different stops I've had.
Sure.
And the impact, because I try to be a team player, glue guy, if you will. I'm always the guy that's like get out of your desk, let's go get a coffee,
Mm.
crack a joke, let's go get lunch. Like you got to put your big effort in for work, of course, but you also need time to like just decompress and
Yes.
breathe and, and kind of do your thing. So every stop has been a learning experience. This last one, I freelanced for about a year and a half, and that was great because it actually helped me for this situation.
Mm.
If you want me to segue right into it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So back in December of this past year, I saw there was an opening at a company called Avid Technology that I now work for down in not too far from me. And I have a couple of friends that work for the company that actually one was one of my former bosses
Oh, okay.
13 years ago. One was a gentleman I interviewed with. I didn't get the job, but we remained close and still talk. So that was good.
Mm.
Because I had that impact on him, even though I didn't get the job for his company, we still have that mutual respect for each other. So both of them championed me left and right in the company. So, February, I, had a remote call with the manager, and then a week later, I had with his boss, and then right before I went to Florida, on the I was supposed to have an interview with the CMO, but she was ill, and then down
Mm.
in Florida. So this is the week of the 29th to the 3rd or 4th of March, when things started getting crazy. I had an interview when I was in Florida, and I was wearing the suit tie and everything, and then of
Hmm.
course wearing swimming trunks on the bottom. I hope she doesn't see that, but yes, I was wearing the swimming trunks on the bottom. But that went really well. And then the Thursday night after doing, walking 25,000 miles at Disney's Animal Kingdom, I
Mm.
got the call from the recruiter saying, can we talk tomorrow? And I'm like, this will be on the Friday. I have an early flight. She goes, really excited to talk to you. Of course, you'll ask yourself, well, if she's saying she's excited to talk to you, it has to be something good.
For
Because if you
sure.
didn't get the job, you know what I mean? They wouldn't have said all that. So I ended up landing in Manchester, New Hampshire,
Mm.
regional airport near us. Played a little phone tag, went shopping. I got the call saying I got the job, and it was like kind of a relief, and at the same time, like I was excited, but I just didn't like go you know what I mean? Like just
Hmm.
like it was a relief, right? Because I was freelancing, and the job and the business dried up and so forth, and then
Mm.
so I got that job. That was great. Got home, we had a pipe burst in the house when I got
Oh
home, so that
man.
kind of did that, and then got the offer letter on the 9th, and then we had a scare at my son's school about the coronavirus on the Tuesday, and then on Friday they called school off. And then I talked to my wife and friends. They go, they're going to be calling more than just Friday off. And then the next week, we had a couple contractors in the house trying to put our house back together and all this stuff. And then, I kept asking the company, am I still going to be brought on? Because I would completely get it if they pushed me out. I mean, I get it, right?
Sure.
But they're like, no, we want to get you guys on board. You made a commitment to us, and we want to help you guys and get you benefits. And I was like, wow, that's like cool.
Yeah.
And even the first call I had with my company, they're like, number one priority is your family and your health. Number one priority, which
That's
is
huge.
how it should be.
Yes.
Because I think, Jamie, right now, companies' actions will speak volumes on their future. Because if you are like, you probably know who Jeremy Jacobs is, very big in Buffalo. If the way he treated the TD Garden staff down here in Boston,
Mm.
that he didn't pay them. He also, said he paid them if the last 6 games of the NHL schedule will get canceled, which they're trying to do this in July, right? So
Mm.
he wasn't paying them, and they laid them all off, and then now they're getting no money.
Mm.
And being a Bruins fan, as you can see, I mean,
Mm.
I love the team, but I don't like the owner. And
Mm.
now a lot of fans don't like him even more, if that's possible. But then you have people from Texas Roadhouse and of Columbia Sportswear, the CEOs are not taking salaries for the next year because they're going to give it to their workers. So
That's
that,
huge.
yeah, it showed from your marketing firm. So brand recognition, brand awareness, reputation management,
Yes.
huge right now. I mean, you could either make it or break it for yourself right now. I'm seeing the best of people and the worst, and there's not much middle.
Yeah. Polar
That is
opposites.
my long-winded answer for you. So
No, that was great. And, you know, as you know, a brand is everything that you do. It's not
right,
just your logo, you know, the color scheme that you use.
right,
It's literally from how you treat your employees, and also how your employees, when they leave the job, treat other people.
absolutely.
You walk into a store wearing your company logo, you're still representing your company. And
Oh yeah,
this is a time, you're very right. This is a time right now where we're seeing how brands are, you know, going to go
responding.
forward in this new age.
Right,
Um,
you see the companies retrofitting their like Nike and Bauer Sports are down here in New Hampshire, Bauer Hockey retrofitting their factories to make masks and
yes.
gowns, and Fanatics doing. I don't know if you saw the story. They did like taking the Philadelphia Philly jerseys and then making masks out of them, and they're making the robes and all of that. And
Hmm.
Mets fans said they wouldn't wear the jerseys, which is kind of funny.
Oh man.
Um, but that's the stuff that people are doing. That's the great things, you know.
Yes.
But you'll be judged on how you act on these times.
And, you know, that kind of goes into the next part of the conversation with the importance of personal branding.
Yes.
You know, in the meantime, people that may have, you know, unfortunately been laid off, it's a tough time right now. We're all in this
Oh
together.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, what do you say to those right now that, you know, they don't have a personal brand developed, and they're also putting off the power of storytelling with social
Yeah.
media?
Yeah.
What do you recommend for people?
Well, if you haven't done it, you have a lot of time to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's home. Everybody's on the computer right now. You kind of straddle that fine line between being you got to be somewhat sensitive to the situation, but you still need to put food on the table and do your
Definitely.
job. Like my job right now has been a pleasant distraction. Not that you want to call work a distraction, but it has been right now because it's new for me and I'm kind of just going through things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, yeah, my personal brand. I mean, on LinkedIn, I've been on LinkedIn. I was on LinkedIn forever, and then in January of 18 is really like when video really took off and the content started taking off, and I got the video capability because not everybody had it right off the top at LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And I was following like a dozen different influencers, thought leaders. I hate the word influencer because I'm an influencer marketing manager, but I like calling it. I think you see my word value influencer, like leading with value, right? Because
Yes. Yes.
influence is a byproduct of that, right? So. But then, really tell my story, saying, I'm a cancer survivor too. So, throw that in front of me. And I'm like, hey, throw pandemic on top of that. Why not? Let's go. Throw it as a cherry on the top. So I don't know if it sounds weird that, I've had my moments these last few weeks. I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm more, I don't know, programmed to kind of deal with adversity because that's all I kind of been dealing with the last 15, 17 years, if you will. To tell those stories, people can relate to the stories because family members, your spouse, your friends say, "Oh, I know where you're coming from," but they don't unless they walk your shoes.
True.
And there's been so many people on LinkedIn, Brian Schulman and Jake Melton, a couple of guys that I was going through some things, and they helped me out through it because they went through the same stuff, same
Mm-hmm.
exact stuff as me, right? Which is uncanny that there's a path that other people have taken with you, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just to provide that value, also don't want to make it all about you because that's not what it's all about. It's also being value add, right? I talked about social media marketing, best practices, content marketing, influencer marketing, and just sharing, value with everybody. So you want to mix it in with the inspiration, the motivational stuff, and educational stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Um, learn from Gary Vaynerchuk is a big, social media thought leader or digital market thought leader, if you will, that I've
Mm-hmm.
been following him and got on TikTok because of him. And that's a great, incredible platform where you can really make your mark as well. Instagram, of course, is another one. LinkedIn is probably the V1 right now, I would say. But Instagram, LinkedIn, and now TikTok is starting to ramp up other ones. YouTube as well. Other ones to really be on, I would say.
Sure.
Facebook to a degree. I know they're pushing groups a lot on that platform, and Twitter's, kind of more of a now it's kind of inundated with what's going on, but is
Mm-hmm.
is a way to kind of push information, start conversations. But just be yourself and be authentic, as much as that sounds cliche. And just tell your story, like what your firm is doing with all these different people. I kind of saw the little bit of the doctor from Houston, there, former astronaut,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how he's saving people and all that. And he's like, it's just my job, which is very admirable, true hero.
Absolutely.
But that's a story that people want to hear right now, right? I mean, they want to hear about the heroes and the good things and all the, like for instance, Bob Kraft of the Patriots just got 1.5 million masks from China. He flew the Patriots jet over there and picked it up. And
Wow.
yeah, and he's got money, but he's not sitting around spending, and he's doing it to help people, right? So, it's just like and sharing that content with people. Like you might see, you probably know the show The Office, right?
Yes.
John Krasinski. I don't know if you heard about the Some Good News Network he put together
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
He created his own show, right?
Yeah, so he, had his kids draw the logo for him, and he kind of just, had Steve Carell on. And Steve Carell picked up a piece of paper, like, the graphics that usually say your name underneath, and he's like, I'll tell you right now, man, John nailed it, because this is what we need right now more than anything right now is good news. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they showed a girl who just recovered from cancer, and she was going home and had all these cars on each side of the road, certain distance apart, but beeping the horn and welcoming her back. And, that's the stuff people need to concentrate on right now. I mean, you got to be kind of cognizant of what's going on in the world, but you don't have to, as I said, immerse yourself in it, because it's just going to mess you up mentally. I mean, how can it not? So, I've done things in my neighborhood. We have a lot of young kids here,
Mm-hmm.
and my son's 6 years old. And as much as we think we're having it bad, I'm sure they're having it way worse than we are, because they don't know why they can't go to school. They don't know why they can't see their friends. They don't know why can't I get closer than 6 feet, right? And it's just like, so, we started this thing this last Saturday, March-Halloween. So we had everybody dress up when they take their walks, not together, but when they take their walks throughout the day, everybody was dressed up in costume.
Nice.
Which is great. Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So it's great when you have it, being in marketing, right? I mean, I didn't do it for marketing purposes, but when you come up with an idea and people really embrace it and it resonates and it takes off, it's gratifying, beyond gratifying, right? So we did that, and then we did our neighbor's daughter, her birthday. Of course, 6, 7-year-old having their birthday, not having a birthday party sucks. I mean, I'm not gonna, So it was pouring on Sunday. So me and a couple of the other neighbors got in our cars, and then we drove up to her house. She has like a half moon driveway, so we could go to do the rounds.
Hmm.
And playing that song by the Beatles. They say it's your birthday, cranking it out and getting
Nice.
smiles going. So. That's what we got to have. I mean, we got to do the good stuff, man, for each other.
People want some sense of normalcy right now. Again, we don't want to ignore the situation.
Sure.
But it's things like that reminds people that this is just temporary right now.
Yeah.
There was a normal, there'll be a normal, it might be a new normal, but it can't be all gloomy stuff. And I agree with you.
I mean, it sucks for everybody right now, but there's other people that it sucks way worse for right now. They're going through way worse stuff right now because of this thing. No jobs, health issues, way worse. Because we have to sit home for probably a couple months. I mean, that's the way it's probably going to shape up to be. Hopefully, maybe by mid-May, things get normal, or June. It is what it is. I mean, you can't blame who's in office now and this, because it doesn't matter right now. It just we need to get together as a human race. I mean, just not to sound hokey, but it's true. I mean,
very true.
I mean, they're lifting sanctions against countries we don't have good relationships with, just to try to help each other out, because that's what it is right now. It's not about the history's like gone right now. It's just like helping each other. That's it,
And there's really nobody to blame. We're all in this together. So to see something like that, where countries are helping each other out, after this is over, the relationships are going to be even stronger. So
countries have brands too, if you think about it, right?
That is true.
We all have brands. I mean, sorry, I'm chewing ice. Terrible.
No, you're good.
It's when you're nervous, whatever you got to do. But no, it's again, I've seen a lot of good things come out of this. I mean, I remember when 9/11 happens. I kind of, you probably remember it to a smaller degree.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I didn't need to do the age thing at all.
No, you're good.
You know what I mean? But that day was just, a day that I'll never forget in the aftermath. But the thing is, it's like, this seems like 9/11 to me in smaller chunks, if that makes sense to you. If it makes any sense. Like every day is a little Do you know what I mean? Like it's a slow ramp up. It's not a wow, holy crap a thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's when you got to mentally prepare for it every day. Every day you got to mentally prepare for your next day. I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know.
I agree. And for you, working from home right now, just
Yeah.
joining Avid, what was it,
Yeah.
like the middle of March, right?
Yeah.
Middle of March.
Week ago Monday, man. 2 weeks in.
So, what do you, and you didn't even get that full, all right, hey, I know what's expected. I got to know what to do right now. How are you managing? Because I know that you said you have children. How are you
Yes.
managing a work-home life balance, and how are you doing everything right now? Like, what's your secret to being
Formula, yeah,
productive?
there's no secret, there's no blueprint. You do the best you can. As you can see behind us, now that I'm in my home office, if you will, in the bedroom, you'll see there's a sign behind me because everybody's like, are you painting? I go, well, that's been like that since like August because my wife hasn't finished it. So
Mm,
there's a note on it saying it will be painted. So, but my son came in a call. I had a call with a vendor, prior to this. And he's a ham like me. He's old man. He likes to be in front of the camera and do his thing. But he walks in and all that. And, they were laughing. Everybody gets it now.
mhm,
Some people work remotely, and the kids come in. You're like, get out. But now everybody's going through it right now. So it's like you not only have to be your own person. Okay,
mhm,
you got to be, if you're married, you get husband, wife. You also have to be not only a parent, but you have to be a teacher now.
mm.
Entertainment staff. Everything. I mean, you have to do it all now. Like. And I look back at this, and I remember I had to watch my son this before I started my gigs. My wife was working on February vacation, and he was just out of his mind, 6-year-old going bananas. I was like, that whole day, I was just like, like, oh my God, I can't handle it. Now I'm like, well, this is that I mean, not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just now like, how dare I complain about that when look what we're going through now? But we're together, three
Mm,
of us together now. It's a little different, but I think preparing me for what's going on now from a work standpoint, when I was a freelancer,
mhm,
that I would talk to clients on calls once a week. I would get what I have to do from a deliverable standpoint, get direction where needed, has helped me now because I just basically it's like, even though I'm working for Avid, it's almost like they're my client right now. And my boss said to me, just treat yourself as Joe Gill Incorporated. You're an agency. Okay, so that's what I have been doing, right? So,
mm.
and he's been awesome. He's given me kind of autonomy to kind of put this influencer marketing program together, which has been awesome. Like, he's been awesome so far. The whole company has. But again, that has been helped the transition out dramatically because I didn't really transition from it like a work environment standpoint because I just got up and stayed at home and just did my
Mm,
thing. Now, when I go back to the office, when this gets back to normal, that's when the transition will begin
sure.
because I haven't commuted or worked at a job since November of 18.
Mm.
So by then it's a year and a half, right? So that's gonna be a little bit of a transition, but I'm sure I'll get over it quickly. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all a transition. There's no blueprint for what's going on right now. And, to all those people that have lost their jobs, my heart goes out to you. Cause like I said, I've been there, and remember, you can always reach out to people. You saw that story. I said, if you need to talk, reach out. I've been there.
Yes.
Not from a pandemic, but end of the day, it's the same thing. Money's not coming in, and you beat the hell out of yourself.
Yeah.
Why me? But we're gonna, like you said, to uplift this at the end. We're gonna get through it, and things like this, like what you're doing right now in your firm, this is a way to do it. So good job.
Thank you very much. And the positives that come from this is we have the technology to stay connected. We got
Yes,
video
huge.
conference. I could only imagine if this would have happened.
20 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
30
exactly.
years
Where
ago.
we
Yeah.
didn't have this. We, can be with our families for the most part.
Right.
If you got children, at least you're seeing your kids every day now before you had to go to the office, people that are traveling and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's an opportunity to be with them. So
Huge.
we gotta focus on those
Right.
positives. And
Yep, absolutely.
no, but we're gonna get through this. And Joe, thank you again for taking the time to be on
Thank you,
Sidewalk
man.
Talk.
I appreciate it.
What is the best way for somebody to reach out to you? Is it LinkedIn and
Yeah, sure.
TikTok?
Yeah. So Joe Gill 88 is pretty much my handle almost on every platform.
Okay.
Also, I've done work in the past with my company Valuent, so you can check that out too. But no, love my things at time at Avid. But reach out on LinkedIn if you need to talk about what's going on. And if you lost a job and if I can try to hook you up with anybody that might be able to give you an opportunity, please don't hesitate.
That's what it's all about, is building relationships with people through social media and giving value to those, and not asking for something back. So Joe, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Jamie. Thanks.
Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening to Sidewalk Talk. If you know anybody that has a story to share, please visit our website at shovelthesidewalk.com and click the podcast filter. There's a form where you could just sign up real quick and we'll get back to you right away. You can also stream our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every other media player that's out there. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. And this has been Sidewalk Talk.